I'm Chris.
I'm Trav.
And this is Fake Rich and Tired. And y'all know we like to come to y'all when it's interesting stuff in the news, especially about some of our
Favorite celebrities
and married couples and stuff.
Yeah.
So right now, one of my favorite rappers, and
definitely one of mine. One of my favorite rappers, one of her favorite rappers, is in the headlines right now, especially blazing social media about him going to doctor's visits with his daughter. Now, we're not talking about just regular doctor visits. We're talking about OBGYN doctor visits, which got social media in a stir. So we just wanted to drop something in real quick, let y'all know what we thought about it.
And I think this is going to be interesting for us because although I think we are in agreement, I think we may have different perspectives on parts of this subject, which is part that I've been passionate about and I've been misunderstood about, I think, in social media. But that's why we like to have the conversation so everybody can have their point of view.
Yes.
So I want you to start because I think I have a different point of view.
You want me to start because you want to make sure to have a different point of view.
Okay, I'll start.
I'll start.
No, I'll start.
I can start.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. Apparently, T.I. is going to the OBGYN with his teenage daughter, who I believe is 17 or 18. She's 18. And I believe the purpose is so he can make sure that her hymen is still intact.
That's the purpose.
And that she's a virgin. So, my thoughts on that. That's creepy as hell. I understand as a parent, especially as a father, high profile and all of that good stuff, making sure to preach and teach virginity to your kids, making sure that they are on the right path for everything that they want to set themselves up for in the future. So I get where he's coming from as far as wanting to make sure she is, but I think it's a little bit overboard in his method. I think most parents would agree the best you can truly do is constantly put it in their head. Even the Bible says, train up a child in the way that should go, so when they're older they won't depart. So that to me is an indication that all you can do is teach, and hope that they do the right thing. So the extra measure of going to the doctor, to me, especially for an 18-year-old young woman, that seems a bit invasive to me. So I'm not a fan of his method. However, I do understand the purpose behind it. I understand the father side of making sure your daughters are doing what you taught them to do. If that makes sense. I'm trying to hurry up because I want Chris to jump in. So that, in a nutshell, is pretty much where I'm at.
Gotcha. So I agree, it's creepy. The going to the gynae with her to get her hymen checked is creepy. It's overbearing. It's way overprotective, and I honestly don't think it's protecting her in any way. And I don't want to go into all the scientifics of her hymen cannot be broken or could have been broken in another type of, I don't even want to go into that. Like the fact that he's doing that, I don't like that. But I mean, parents are parents, and you parent your children how you want to parent your children.
True.
The flip side to that.
Oh, here we go.
Is I don't disagree with a father attending gynae appointments with his daughter.
I don't disagree with that either, depending on the circumstance.
Give me more.
If there's a male gynae,
okay.
Hell, any doctor's appointment, if your daughter is not comfortable, however, she has to see that doctor for the moment until she finds a doctor that she's comfortable with, I think it's okay to go. I think the flip side for mothers and sons as well. That's your child. Like, you're there to protect them, period. So if my daughter is uncomfortable going to the gynae, or this is her first time really going for the sake of getting a checkup from the woman's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, it's different from a regular physician or something like that.
Totally different.
Like, so people down there, like, this her first go round at it, totally uncomfortable, whether it's male or female, or man or woman. Absolutely, I'd be there. Obviously, my preference is not to be in the room per se, unless that's what she wanted. But it's more so to be there, to where she has somebody that face that she knows is going to protect her, that's going to be there for her right there when she comes out. Again, if she had that preference, said, Dad, I would like you to come in here with me because this is scary or whatever, then I would go in there at the request of my daughter.
That makes a lot of sense, and that's why, because you made a couple good points, and I think I came off on, and that's why I hate social media, because I think I came off as defending T.I.'s actions when I was like, well, I don't see anything wrong with him going to the gynae with his daughter, because a lot of the comments were, well, why isn't her mother there, or
right.
That's a man, he shouldn't be going to the gynae with his daughter, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
Right.
Because I feel like, first of all, it's adults that don't know what questions to ask and how to manage their health, how to digest what a doctor is giving to you at some point. And so I feel like so if something were to ever happen to me, for instance, I would want my girls to be comfortable enough to be like, okay, Dad, well, now I don't need you in here for the pap smear or nothing, but when we do talk to the gynae about my overall female health, I wouldn't mind you being in the room. So that way, when they tell me, oh, well, this happens, whatever, with your body, whatever, as a child, they may not understand
the super duper medical terms, and
not even just that, like just some of the delivery of what the doctor is saying, or even remember, hell, kids don't remember to bring permission slips home from school and stuff like that. So like, you as a parent, you're thinking differently about their health, absolutely, in my opinion, than they are.
Should be.
You should. You should be. It's some, like I said, it's some adults that go to the doctor and they don't know what they are, the questions that they should be asking,
right,
or things like that. So, right. Just for clarification, I am not defending T.I.'s actions. I totally think that it's creepy. The whole hymen thing, it's just gross, and
come on, man, you don't do the hymen search. Come on. That's
gross. However, I would like, just even my daughters, and the other point you hit on, because like the male doctor thing, my daughters had a male physician for years. Dr. Mitchell was the bomb.
Yeah.
But like, one of his preferences now, and my girls' preferences now, is that they don't have a male doctor unless we meet somebody else like Dr. Mitchell, then I cling on. But me growing up, but I also had a single mom, but my gynae was a male for 20 years. Yeah. Like, the only reason that I'm not with him now is because we moved from Chicago. Yeah. But I was always comfortable having a male gynae. Now, I did start off going to see him with my mother when I was a teenager, but just I never even thought to myself for a second, like, he's a male, like he...
And you shouldn't have to. I mean, considering their profession, they should be professional enough to keep you from being bugged out and jittery about them and all that good stuff. However, it don't necessarily apply to every doctor. Like, there's doctors that are out there that's creeps.
That we were talking about.
Not even just the doctors that are creeps. You don't know the past of some people. So, for example, and I'm not suggesting this about T.I., his daughter, anything like that, but there may have been a sexual molestation or something like that happens to a child that makes her uncomfortable, even if it's a good doctor. Yeah. You know what I mean? So all of that has to be taken into consideration, but ultimately, I don't think it's necessarily creepy for him to go to the doctor with her and all of that. I do think it's creepy that his intent is to check on her hymen or the status of her hymen.
So let's make that clear.
That's a little bit overboard.
Especially because some people are not going to watch the whole thing and hear the whole context, and they're going to take little pieces out.
No, but if we get to that point, that means we made it. Like if we get to the point where people create scandalous stuff about us because
I don't want no scandalous stuff. I got some bad tweets out there from years ago. I don't want that.
No, we ain't there yet. We just
I want to be there.
We at the point where they chopping up our words.
I want to be there.
That's good.
But to your point, that part is creepy.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
But I think a lot of people were saying there are a lot of people who are like, that's not his place. He shouldn't be there. And legally, and that's why he said what he said. He was like, doctor, or he was like, Daisy, they gonna ask you, can I be here? Do you good with that, right? Because he knows that legally she can say,
I don't want him in the room.
I don't want him in the room. But I do think that a lot of people are viewing it. Well, okay, it's hard to connect it to because this is borderline perverted. Not perverted, but it's gross. Okay. But I think that a lot of people immediately went to the dad shouldn't be there, and I don't agree. I just don't agree with that. I feel like if you take my daughter to the gynae or I take my daughter to the gynae, I don't think there should be a difference in the visit because I'm not gonna sit in there for her pap smear either. Right. But when we have to sit down and talk to the doctor about her health, I don't care if it's a gynecologist, and I don't care if it's an optometrist, an orthodontist, I don't care. Whatever that doctor is, I feel like my daughter should be comfortable. Sons and daughters should be comfortable enough that male or female, we should be able to sit with them. And a lot of people went straight for he shouldn't be there, and that was my defense. Like, why should he be there? Well,
so one of the problems that I have is, as much as I think it's creepy that he wants to do the hymen checkup, or we got to come up.
Every time we say come up
with a name for it. Yeah, we got to come up with a name for it, like
the TI check. We're gonna call it that.
The TI check. Every time you want to do they mention the TI check. Like, I think that's creepy. But, and I'm not saying that he should necessarily hide who he is for people. However, I do feel like you give somebody an inch, they're gonna run with it with you being a celebrity. So maybe that should never have made anybody's microphone or camera or anything like that.
Ain't no maybe. And that was my other point. I'm glad you brought that up. So not only is it creepy, but I think that he's a disgusting human being for putting that out in the public, period. Like, that's not even
a disgusting human being.
He's a disgusting human being because you just put all of your daughter's like personal medical, whether or not you feel like you're proud of that or not, like, that's not for you. Like, if she came out and said, I'm a virgin, I'm proud of it, I mean, that's her. But you being that's a lot of information to put out about your 18-year-old daughter, and that made me cringe even more as much as the tip check, because that, like, I don't think he realizes, and maybe he feel like because he the king he can protect her, but I don't think he realizes now not scrutiny, that's not the right word, but
potential risk or the target that he painted.
He has painted a target on her back now. All types of creeps.
In what way? Like,
all types of creeps.
That's their goal is,
and
let
it's
me
a
go
goal
break
now.
that virginity.
Like, I'm going to be the one who break this headline right here. Like, and not just that, it's just her medical business. Like,
I agree, it's just her medical business. As far as the target, I think being a celebrity daughter, being T.I.'s daughter, you have a target.
But it went from 100% to 170% now, because now she's T.I.'s virgin daughter.
The same as she's been prior to.
That wasn't for him to discuss. Like, we didn't all know that.
I agree with that. It wasn't for him to discuss. I wouldn't say he's a disgusting human being.
It's gross.
I'm gonna stick with creepy.
That was disgusting.
I'm gonna stick with creepy.
It was disgusting.
I don't think he's a disgusting human being.
He's trash, and I loved it.
Here's the reason why. I don't know what happens in everybody's household. Mm-hmm. I don't know how all of these great fathers out here that we see on social media, and you know, it just shows itself as evident. Like, man, that's a great dad. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know everything that they're doing to raise their child. I don't know if they're doing PP checks and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going on in their household. No different than a lot of people don't know what goes on in mine. My biggest thing is certain things should not enter the public. Is that wrong? Yes. For me, that's wrong. That was gross. It was a little gross. I don't know if it was despicable. What'd you call him?
He's a disgusting
human being.
He was trash.
Trash sounds better than a disgusting human being. I don't know.
He trash for that.
You say it how you want. But just from my perspective, while I think it was weird, it's hard for me to really put a stamp on somebody as a person because of how they parent. Hell, we got whoopings.
It's not his parenting that I'm putting a label on.
I agree, but when you say disgusting human being, it's like that's his overall being.
It's certain things that people do that you put a label on them. Not you in particular, but people do stuff and we be like, that makes them a disgusting human being.
I mean,
or
pedophilia and stuff like that. Absolutely,
is a disgusting
human being,
but he made great music though.
Disgusting human being
because of that one thing for you. So I feel like he's putting his daughters. We'll just call it trash. I'll take back my words.
No, you don't have to.
He's trash for that. But just think about it, because we're thinking about T.I. on a celebrity level. Mm-hmm. Let's say y'all sitting at Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
And this is like a semi-true story because I've heard, like, somebody told me this story.
Okay.
And it was a teenage boy who was uncomfortable with it. But they all it might not have been Thanksgiving dinner, it might have been Christmas dinner, whatever, but everybody at dinner. So his mom felt the need to tell everybody the size of his penis and that he should pull it out and show everybody. Oh no, that's different. That's different. That's not different. She's publicly.
T.I. didn't say, "Hey, go show the world your hymen."
But he's talking about her personal sexual nature and what her hymen is doing inside her drawers.
Whether or not it's intact or not.
It's in her drawers. We shouldn't be discussing that. So
I agree.
Like, he's a celebrity. That's on a celebrity level. But think about how many people are doing that. And it may not be to that extent where they like, pull your junk out and show everybody.
I want to know who your friend is now. Yeah.
You wouldn't know who they were.
It don't matter. Mom told you to whip your
and just told everybody, and she thought that was cute. Like, she thought that was okay.
Wasn't nowhere nearby. Like, you know, that cavity of the turkey. Like, okay, Mom. Mom sounded like,
but you know how
she was mad.
She's trash for that.
Dad should have took out the son. I guess.
In the 90s when that happened, the trash wasn't out. We called her a disgusting human being. Okay. That's the connection I was trying to
That makes sense.
But imagine how many families that are not T.I., because we only heard this because it's T.I., he a celebrity, he said on the podcast.
If he said spit tastes like spit, it'll be in the news.
But imagine how many families are having discussions like this, like sitting around Thanksgiving, like what if it was you, like when we was at Thanksgiving and you were just like, hey, family, like, hey, I'm taking my daughters to the doctor next month, to the gynae next month to get their hymen checked. Like, that's disgusting. Like, why would you discuss that with anybody outside of me, you, and our daughter? Like, that's why I say it's disgusting.
I mean, it is. It is. It's disgusting. I have had encounters with people in which you hear personal conversations because they're telling a real close friend and stuff like that. And a lot of that should leave out the house. It's not going to always stay between the two parents, especially with grandma. Like, you tell grandma, that shit liable to travel around the world.
That's why you don't tell grandma.
I agree, but
because you end up at Thanksgiving, and I keep saying that, we don't even celebrate Thanksgiving, but you end up at Thanksgiving dinner, and grandma
talking
like,
about
boy, pull it out.
Penises.
Show everybody how, like, that's,
Yeah.
like, now, but he told us this as a teenager, but I wonder if, like, he still shares that story, like, how that traumatized him, like, how, like, now
so
everybody.
So it did traumatize him and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, he, like, now everybody thinking
not all
about
that
me.
good stuff. But.
Like, I probably got the perverted auntie, just like we got the perverted uncles, who, like, I wonder what that thing do, or he might have got molested like after that. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But that's why you don't have. I mean, you don't have discussions like that anyway. That's gross. But I was just trying to give an example.
Yeah.
Of discussion
That could have potentially led to some
public information.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you covered my point. So I'm glad you covered that.
I didn't mean to.
I
just knew you was gonna be so opposite of me at one point because the way you brought it out, but looked like we were on the same page.
The only reason I said that is because your personal, like, a lot of times when our girls are dealing with stuff, he be like, go ask your mama that, like, go do that. So I thought that you were going to lean more toward the, like, I ain't doing that, because I do, like, even though I have the belief, like, I feel like they should be comfortable with talking to him about anything. He could be in the room. I am the one that typically is, but that's just because of my situation. I work from home, and I
tell them to go talk to your mama. Because
if they like, I got cramps.
I mean,
like,
my thought is
you
there. Like, you there. Hey, but we don't know about Tiny. Tiny could be on the road with Escape or writing or whatever. Who knows?
That's not Tiny.
Well, whoever her mama is, she might be.
We don't know where she is exactly.
We don't know, so.
But I don't think it should matter.
It shouldn't. I mean, hell, when you don't feel like it or can't, and I got to take the girl to the doctor, I'm gonna take her to the doctor. Like, I'm not gonna think twice. Oh, mom, can you come do this? Or some other woman that we trust, can you? No.
And that's what a lot of people were saying, like, oh, well, my dad didn't have a vagina, so I'm not going to talk about my vaginal health with my dad. And it's
kids.
It's like, well, you're not going to say, well, Dad, how did your vagina feel when this happened? You're going to say, well, Dad,
this is what's going on.
I got cramps. I don't know what to do. Like, and because
I seen your mama take, or I seen your mama do.
Or this is how I take care of my kid. Like, what if something were to happen to me tomorrow?
Shit.
Please don't Google how to help my babies with cramps.
Shit.
But if something were to happen to me tomorrow, like, we don't live by our family anymore.
I'm all they got.
So right now, it's to you when they gotta go to the gynae or whatever. That is going to be on you.
Yeah.
And why should we hinder our daughters from that? Because society feels like a man shouldn't go to the gynecologist with his daughter. Okay, so what does a mom not do? Because I don't have a penis. So what should I have done with my son? Because I sure was
women were forced to do this. We ain't gonna look. We are not gonna get into that one.
When the doctor said turn your head and call for I hold your balls. Like, I was right there, and I didn't have balls, but I was there with my son, and I was there because he didn't ask certain questions or. So I was able to be like, Doc, he said this happened when he peed or whatever. Right. If he was at work, I couldn't do it. I was there. So what makes it different for me with my son going to the doctor than a dad with his daughters? His daughters that he birthed.
One, nothing. Two, society.
And that... I hate that that's the answer, but that's the answer. But why is it perverted? It's not perverted for a man to change his daughter's diapers.
It's perverted for anybody that's looking for something to look at for perversion. I mean, you can't stop the way people think. You can't stop the way they feel. The best you can do is run your household the best way you see fit. As far as the T.I. situation, from the outside looking in, it's creepy. It's not something that I would do. It's it's creepy.
I'm judging, not from the outside looking in.
It's creepy.
Period. It's creepy. I'm
creepy.
judging that. I'm sorry.
But
that's too much. That's way too much. And I don't get it. I know what some people are trying to say because he's involved with his daughter and maybe that'll help him make better decisions. But I don't want to say I get what you're saying. I don't. Okay, so let me go to, that's why I think it is okay though that dads are able to be present in their daughters' doctor's appointments and everything, and are able to have those conversations and feel comfortable with doing that, because a lot of the comments that I saw were women were like, well, I wasn't comfortable talking about my vaginal health with my dad. Why? Like, I don't see why that should make you uncomfortable. That's your dad. You should be able to tell your parents anything about your health, especially because you probably on their damn insurance anyway, and they got to pay to help you get it fixed.
I think men are seen naturally. Well, I don't want to say naturally. I think it's bred from a long history that men are seen as perverted. With men being seen as perverted, that instantly forces a reaction. So whether that reaction is, oh, I can't talk to them about that, or this is that and the other, men are seen as perverted. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about, like, if you said, hey, that rapist lived next door, the first thing you think about is it's a man versus it's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, statistically, I mean, it's there. There are more men, at least I assume. I don't even want to put it out there because I don't know. But I would think
a whole different recording.
It is. It's a whole different recording. I'm trying not to go too deep into it, but what I will say is I think society plays a part in all of it, and the upbringing of a father to his daughter. Society plays a part in that. The reason why people wouldn't bat an eye at women raising their son is because all she has to do is say single mother, and you know what I'm saying? That's the golden ticket to where no one questions or challenges it. Again, I'm trying not to go too deep into it. This would make a very good conversation, but I don't want to go too deep into it. But all I can say is society, I think, plays a part in people looking at men as perverted when they are doing things to raise their daughters.
I can understand.
There's things that I do. I talk to my daughters about certain things as far as womanhood that I would never just go out and share with the public. However, it's because I'm there in the moment. And if that moment happens to where I have to say something, or you're not there to where I can say, hey, talk to them about this, then I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna wait 4 days or whatever. Like, I'm gonna say what needs to be said right then and there, and it's because I want the best for them, and I want them to grow up understanding their bodies, understanding hygiene, all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna say it. Again, his case is a little different, but I'm just talking about overall society, I think, is a main culprit in why girls can't come to their father and talk to them about their womanly issues or their womanly development and all of that good stuff. It's because men are, from society's standpoint, notorious perverts or creepy.
And I can definitely agree with that, because even in some of the comments, because some people were like, well, even if he was a single father, Tiny's there, or she got aunties or cousins she could talk to. There's no way that he should be going to the gynecologist with her. And I'm like, why does she have to go to a cousin or auntie or whatever
when she has a father?
When she has a father, even if he does,
an active father.
You don't have to go to somebody with a vagina because you need to go to the gynecologist.
And we're talking about an active father. We're not talking about a father who, every 4 weeks or, on payday he come to drop the money and the shoes off and then he gone again. Like, we're not talking about that type of father. We're talking about an active father who has clearly played a major role in her upbringing, considering the fact that knowing that she's 18 and she still allowed for that to happen. There has to be.
She allowed or she's scared, but that's another podcast.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he. And I highly doubt, and I don't know him, so I would like to think he wouldn't cut her off financially because she don't want to do the TI check.
It might not be the cut off. It might just be her dad because she was scared.
I don't know.
Podcast.
I'd like to think it's because they developed a relationship of trust, and I can't say trust because apparently somebody don't trust.
Right.
But they developed a relationship to where that's something that it don't seem like it's new to them. So as creepy as it is to me, as much as I want to be like, come on, man, really? Cuz, you tripping. As much as I want to say all of that, and I am saying all of that, ultimately it's them two. You know what I'm saying? But as far as everybody out there looking, watching, listening, it's safe to say we have to do better as a society. When we have questions come up talking about a young girl shouldn't be able to go to her father about health issues and stuff like that, I got to look at you sideways. But that's just me.
One comment that was given to me, and we can wrap it up because I think we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Was, well, he doesn't have to learn about her health with her at the doctor. Like, he could figure that out somewhere else. And I'm like, while I understand, like, he can learn female health and all that, but it ain't just about female health in general. Like, my argument was, this is my daughter, so her particular female health is what or whatever health. Like I said, I would be the same if I met the doctor or the dentist, and trust me, I still do. It was one dentist office we was about to leave because they was like, well, the parent can't come back with the kid, and I'm like, what the hell you mean? Like, I'm gonna be with my daughter, like, and you about to put some Novocaine in her? Like, no. And we've had issues with that in our family too. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna be with my kid, especially because I need to know what's going on with them, what you're discussing with them, whether you're trying to take them back there to touching them, whatever the case is. Like, I need to know. Like I said, I'm not gonna necessarily be in there for the vaginal exam, and that's me as a mother, and I know what a vagina looks like inside and out and how that works. Mm-hmm. I'm still not gonna go in and be in there for that part, but I don't see why he has to, like, go take external classes to learn about female health and not go to, like, his daughter's doctor's
Y'all trying to send that man back to sex ed? Like,
hell, not even sex ed. Like, he need to go read a female reproductive book. Like, it was a lot of different comments, and I think it was just to keep the debate going. I don't know, because when I came across, it probably came across as I was defending CI, and I'm not at all. What I was coming at was the people who were commenting saying that he shouldn't be with his daughter anyway at a gynae appointment, and I don't agree with that at all.
I agree.
So what's y'all thoughts?
Just gonna ask that. Y'all gotta let us know what y'all think. Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe. What else they gotta do?
Go to our IG, like our IG, follow us on there. We're on Facebook too, Fake Rich and Tired. Twitter, we be on that sometimes. And whenever you get the podcast up and running, we will have that link for y'all as well.
We're working on that.
That's why we got
testing out some
mic.
stuff.
We're working on
it. All right. Well, it's been fun. It's been real.
Let us know what y'all think. Please comment. We like to have the dialogue, so we're open.
Yes.
We like to. Did we lose a light? I think we lost.
We've been lost that light.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
We like the open dialogue. We try to, like, post stuff and say, well, what are your thoughts? Because we like to see thoughts on both sides. So sometimes when we post things, we might not necessarily come forward and say, this is our opinion. We might come and post and say, well, what are your thoughts? Because we like to see the dialogue.
Yeah.
I think the light is telling us to cut it off.
It's flickering. I think it's telling us to cut it off. We've been talking way too long.
Okay, we're done, y'all. Leave us some comments.
We're done. Leave us some comments, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Once again, I'm Trav.
I'm Chris.
Fake Rich and Tired.
Bye,
Peace.
y'all.